let's move from Masons and go to, if I'm going to say it, Reiki.
Reiki, yeah.
Reiki, what is that?
It's a form of a bodily therapy that they use techniques. And so it'd be more kind of a cross between pressure point and massage, but they use other modalities. The danger of it, just like others, is that they're invoking foreign entities. Whenever you hear about channeling chakras, right? The kind of way to discern different modalities is if it's invoking energy, they call it energy or other things. If it's invoking something exterior to the body, into the body, it's invoking something other than the true God. If it's drawing out of the body, it's natural healing, then it's just working with the body's own natural
Funny,
construct.
a buddy of mine he'd go to the chiropractor very regularly, and it's kind of a new thing for him, and they're doing a lot of like massaging on his head and neck, and it's just kind of stuff that he hadn't experienced before. And so he asked his priest, he's like, is there something I have to be worried about here? And the priest asked a very good question. He said, well, when he's talking, is he saying anything about energy or anything like that? He's like, no, we're just talking about football. He's like, well, then you're fine. But he was like looking to see, is there any kind of weird messaging going on here?
Right.
I think looking for that. And I thought the priest kind of had his stuff together and asking that specific question.
That's a good question, yeah. So are they invoking things exterior,
Okay, so bringing things from the outside in, that's interesting.
Well, just remember that
it's like Chesterton said. The problem with, what was it like? I don't want to have. I don't need to have an open mind. I need to have a mind that closes on something of substance.
Right.
So it's like opening yourself up to the universal life energy.
Yeah.
Is just a field day for demons.
Yeah. Well, remember too that the demon has no, vis-a-vis the baptized, he has no right to us. There's no right. By right, our soul, as baptized, belongs to God. By right.
And he can't come in unless invited in some way, right?
Right.
So that's
not like you can sneeze.
Dracula.
Yeah.
Like the whole story there, right?
Yeah.
So Joseph Pierce, a good friend of mine and Tan's, he explains, Bram Stoker's Dracula. So when Dracula is at the door, he has to actually, and the character in the book, he's at the door and he actually cannot come in the house unless he's invited in.
Yeah.
And that's why it's kind of a Catholic novel in the sense of that's just one example of.
Right, and the way we would say it is, being invited in is a permission.
It's a permission.
So Dracula has no right to go into the house, but if the owner of the house says, "Come on in,"
right, that's the problem.
You're welcome in here.
Right,
you're welcome here. He has no right to that house, but he has a permission to be there, and that's when again Revelation 12. The devil accuses the brethren day and night before the Father. And what is he accusing of? All those things that when we permitted him, we gave him permission to us through our sin, notably through our sin.
So Reiki therapy is becoming, there's like a whole Christianized Reiki kind of thing, right? I mean, that's becoming a big thing, right?
Yeah.
What about yoga?
There's no such thing as Christianized. I mean,
I know, but that's what
I
think they call it that.
The same thing with yoga. It's again.
Okay, but I got a specific question about yoga. So there's been a lot of talk about this. So I hate to draw like really fine distinctions, okay? But let's just take P90X, Tony Horton, he's got a dozen workouts or more, and one of them is the yoga thing, right? Now, as I look at it, you're stretching. You're not putting yourself in really strange positions that I see. You're just basically stretching and breathing. You're not meditating. You're just stretching and breathing. Help me understand where it crosses. Now, some people call that yoga. Help me understand, why can't I stretch and breathe?
Yeah, stretching and breathing.
Yeah, I mean, how do you know when it becomes quote unquote yoga and it's dangerous?
Yeah, it's kind of like the professional baseball player goes up to the plate and he does this, right?
Yeah,
makes the sound of the cross. Whether he intends it or not, that gesture has spiritual meaning, right? And so the bodily positions, the mantras, but specifically those bodily positions, cannot be separated from the spiritual meaning behind it.
And does it go back to Hinduism?
Yes, it goes back to Hinduism. So we've seen cases where
which is a pagan religion.
Of course, it's pantheistic and pagan. So those, you cannot separate those out. And I don't know anything about PX90, but
Right.
and that section I'd have to look at it. But in terms of yoga proper,
But I just think that sometimes the term has become very broad now.
well, it has. Now it's like, yeah, you need to do yoga, and they mean by yoga, some meditation, breathing and meditation. There's nothing wrong with breathing and meditating,
Right.
you know. So we have to take back these terms and put them back in the glossary of the Catholic Church. Meditation, mental prayer. Part of your mental prayer should be to help control your breathing. In prayer, utilizing the mind. This is purifying your memories, linking our thoughts and prayers through Lectio Divina. This is the way we deal with stress, and not jump into a yoga class. And there's really just no way to Christianize it.
Right.
There's no way to Christianize it. So there's those that will say they do.
Maybe we shouldn't joke around the office, because usually if someone, hey, can you be at a meeting at Wednesday at 10 o'clock? And we'll text back and say, sorry, I got my hot yoga class.
Right.
Or my goat yoga class.
Yeah, right.
Should probably not joke about it, but that's usually our way of goofing off.
No.
Hey, thanks guys for checking out the Conor Gallagher Show. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, or comment, or whatever you got to do to support it. And I appreciate that very much.